Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews. I want to thank everyone who's been subscribing to this channel. I want to thank everyone who's been watching the films. Keep commenting. Help the lowest viewed films on this channel, folks. Help them grow to bigger size, folks. Thank you all for that. You've been awesome for that. Thank you. Masterminds. And this is the latest from Hess. You all know him, who made Napoleon Dynamite all those years ago. And this is based on the Wells Fargo bank robbery from 1997, in which $17.3 million was taken. That's the second largest bank robbery that's been recorded. So David Knapp, played by Zach Galifianakis, works at Wells Fargo. He meets Kelly Campbell, played by Kirsten Wiig. And Kirsten Wiig, I guess the Kelly Campbell is not exactly happy working at Wells Fargo, so she decides to quit. She meets up with the married Steve Chambers, played by Owen. They decide, let's rob the Wells Fargo. And so they decide to recruit. And so after trying to really recruit David to do this, David decides, okay, I'm going to help rob Wells Fargo, and they are successful at it. So again, decides to head down to Mexico, and Kelly and Steve decide, okay, we're going to basically try to refrain and spend, as little as possible here, and try to live normal lives. So then Steve decides, I'm going to start spending, and screw all you guys, what all you all think. And, of course, David also is spending lavishly down in Mexico, but he realizes, okay, I have to hide myself because the, authorities might know who I am. But of course, David hits up Steve for more money, and then Steve realizes, hey, I can easily, screw David out of the picture here. But Steve hires a hitman named by the name of Michael McKinnon, played by Jason Sudeikis. And, but this film, being called Masterminds, it doesn't take, these people are not masterminds at all, folks, and it doesn't take very long for the FBI to come knocking and eventually figure out who they are, basically. Let me say this what I can say that's positively about this film. First and foremost, there are two funny things at the beginning of the film. First of all, David, again, is narrating the opening, and basically we're seeing clips of, various odd things happening. One is a boy he's riding a bicycle and he falls completely over. That's actually funny. There's also a clip of a garbage man having a really bad day, which is actually quite funny. Guy with a, box on top of his head trying to rob a supermarket, I guess, and the gun being flipped away from him. So Jason Sudeikis, as the hitman, tries to buy an antique gun who he can try to kill David with. But when he tries to shoot the antique gun, it backfires on him and he falls over the balcony. So here's the thing, folks. I like Zach Galifianakis. I liked him in the Hangover trilogy. I liked him in other things. The problem here is he's not interesting. I mean, I bet the real David Knapp is actually a fascinating figure who did something really stupid. But here's the thing, in this film, again, Kirsten Wiig, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Jason Sudeikis, Owen Wilson, they're all much more interesting than just Zach Galifianakis here, basically. And also, let me also ask this question. What is worse? A comedy with a whole bunch of dead spots and also being that they show the funniest parts in the trailer, or a comedy that the studio execs know is not funny and they delay it for a year? And so, again, as I said, this film was delayed for a year, and within that year, Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones went on to become big stars on Saturday Night Live, and Kate McKinnon plays, Nat's wife. Like, seriously, I know a lot of people like Napoleon Dynamite. I'm sorry, I wasn't a big fan of that film, and again, Hess, clearly he made one very good film in his career, but then has not found anything better to do. I hate Nacho Libre, and no one has really seen any of his artwork. So, but here's the main problem about Hess. He and his army of screenwriters, reportedly there are 6 screenwriters here, and it doesn't strike any right tone, or it's like, why is this being shown here? And it's like, I bet, again, as I repeat, this probably is a very fascinating story. I just wish this was not told this particular way. It's like, who here remembers Pain and Gain? That was a bit more bizarre story, at least. It knows it wasn't trying to be funny, but it was funny at the same time because it was so bizarre in itself. So in the end, folks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Masterminds, because of all the people surrounding Zach Galifianakis and a couple of very funny scenes, I'm going to give this a Netflix rating. You could probably seek this out on home video, I guess, or online streaming, or whenever in a few months. And so folks, what did you think of Masterminds? Did you happen to like this film? Did you not happen to care for it at all? Please put that in the comment section below, folks. And as always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, enrich yourself with knowledge. Maybe one day you could rob a bank. Who knows? See ya, folks.